Hello everyone. Today we're going to be reading a Cassidy book called Indigo Blue. Chapter 1. I'm never late for school. I leave home around 8 o'clock on a school day morning. Even though it only takes 5 minutes on the bus, 15 minutes if I'm walking. That's if I'm walking slowly. Maybe stopping aside for a penny too, or to look at comics. I'm almost always the first person to get here, even before Billy, the janitor, who comes at 7:30 to open up. Sometimes he lets me in for a warm-up by the big old-fashioned radiators. But mostly, I just sit on the wall at the edge of the playground and dream. My friend Jo goes to gymnastics and swimming club. She reads teen magazines and scary books and collects beanie animals, and she's learning to play the violin. She has loads of hobbies. I don't do all that stuff. My only real hobby is daydreaming. It's something that never lets you down because it's free and easy. I'm in charge of what happens. Sometimes I sit on the wall and imagine that this is the day the circus will come to town, right into the school playground. Acrobats, trapeze, artists, and clowns will cartwheel and strut across the footy pitch. We'll all learn to paint our faces, ride a unicycle, and balance on one leg on a galloping horse. Better than fractions, spelling test, and getting picked last for netball team. Sometimes I dream that school is cancelled due to freak floods or blizzards, or that we all get stranded in class for weeks. And have to be rescued by soldiers in boats or helicopters or dog sleds. How crazy is that? Sometimes I imagine I've won a national competition for painting or acting or inventing a car that runs on orange juice and recycled sweet potatoes. And even Miss McDowell thinks I'm sus and cool and dripping with talent. My favorite daydream is about Dad. He comes driving into the playground in an indigo blue Ferrari and squeals to halt right in front of me. He leaned over to open the passenger door, and I can see him clearly. Sometimes he's cooler, fair version of Robbie Williams, and other times he looks just like Mr. Lennon, our head teacher, only not so potty. He smiles at me and makes it up for the whole of the last 11 years. I get into the passenger seat and we speed right out of the playground while everyone stands and stares. And I remember to send postcards to all of them from New York, Cairo, Mexico City, and a lush private villa in the Bahamas. Well, maybe after 7:30, kids start arriving at school. A few at a time. Some come with moms, and some push kids and screaming baby brothers and sisters. Some come by car, some come by bus, some come even by bikes, and Shane Tarjat comes on his skateboard every day except when it snows. Joe gets here at 5 to 9. Most days she's been my best mate since we met on the very first day of school. She never laughed at my hair, which was all blonde dreadlocks and multicolored beads and feathers. She never asked why I was wearing an Asian chocolate filtered jumper and tie-dye leggings instead of a blue polo top and navy pinafore dress. She just raised her eyebrows and giggled and dragged me off to the sandpit. I'm now 11 and I know way more about fitting in. I got my mom to chop out all the dreadlocks when I was in year 2. She still has them in a wooden box, along with her photos and her hippie jewelry, and a yellow ticket for Glastonbury Festival from 100 years ago. I looked like a scarecrow for a whole year while my hair grew out, and ever since then I've looked after it myself. $100 strokes every night, conditioner every time I wash it, cute hair clips, and tiny plaits and zigzag patterns, and a little twisty buns with the ends sticking out the way they do it in those magazines. I'm pretty much in charge of my own clothes, too. Gran gets me basic uniform stuff every August, and mom lets me choose a few cool tops, some clumpy shoes, or a little skirt to liven it up. Sometimes they come from the charity shop, but I don't care about that as long as nobody at school catches up. I look like the other kids, and that's what matters. I change, and not just the way I look, but the way I feel inside too. It might be something to do with growing up, but it's probably more to do with Mom and Max and Misty and all that stuff. At least Joe never changes. When things have been bad at home, she pretends not to notice. Joe doesn't ask awkward questions or try to get deep and meaningful. She doesn't do slushy and she doesn't do sad. She just rolls her eyes, takes me in the ribs, and tells me silly stories and corny jokes. And we link arms and laugh and talk, and the bad thoughts go away. So bye guys, we're gonna be reading chapter 2 in the next video. Bye!